Okay, Merciless Vaughn here again with another Bleach Brave Souls video, and in this one we're going to be going over the February Limit Breaker quest. Just going to take a look at the stage rules, see who are the best in slot characters, and some substitute characters you can use if you don't have the best ones. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, go ahead and leave a like, and if you've been here for a while, go ahead and subscribe and help me get to 250 subscribers. I am making my way there. With all that said, let's go ahead and get started. And so, as usual, the Limit Breaker quest usually comes around on the 8th of every month. It is usually here until the 17th or just around for a couple of weeks. So you have some time to do it. The sooner you get it done, the better though. And so, starting off for the slot 1, we are the entry requirements. You can only use heart units. This is going to be ranged attack damage times 2, killer effect times 5, burn status elements, and the enemies are going to be hollow. So the best in slot unit for this will be a heart ranged hollow killer unit. For the second slot, we have power attribute times 2, range attack damage times 2, and killer effect times 5 with poison on the ground. So basically a ranged power no affiliation killer unit will be best for this one. And for the last slot, we're going to have heart no affiliation unit, so any mind no affiliation killer unit with the burn status element on the ground. So those are the slot rules. Let's just go ahead and take a look at some characters to see who you can use. Starting off with the first best in slot character, I say would be this new Riruka that came out for the January end of month banner. She is a mind unit with the hollow killer, and she does have a soul trait of damage inflicted at full down 30%. She is ranged, so she is meeting all of the bonus damage requirements. She has drained on all of her abilities. She has the enemies defeated gimmick, but hers only goes up to 50. At 10%, she gets 20%, or 10 enemies defeated, she gets 20% berserker, and 25 full stamina damage, 20%. 50 enemies defeated, increase strong attack damage 20%. She recovers stamina in between stages by 20%, and she has Siphoner. She has a devastation of 60%, recharge strong attack cooldown 12%, she is immune to fire, havoc 20%, frenzy plus 2, weakened defense, long strike, guard break, indie status element, spiritual pressure boost. So she's a pretty good unit. She does meet all of the requirements so you can get the extra bonuses, and she's not at all a bad unit. She does have some pretty good skills. Moving on to the next unit will be the Swimsuit Rengaku. She does have the Hollow Killer with a soul trait of strong attack recharge time minus 12%. She is a ranged unit, so she will be filling out all of the extra damage requirements. She recovers stamina in between stages, and she does have freeze resistance, which really doesn't matter because that's not the status element that is on the ground currently. She has a 60% berserker and also devastation at 60%. She has Havoc 20%, Frenzy plus 1, increased damage to enemies not affected by an ailment 100%, and Guard Break plus Pierce the Iron Skin. So another good unit you can use. She does meet the extra damage requirements, but she is not immune to the status element on the ground, so you do have to be mindful of that. And as for another unit you can use is the Paracel Burn the Witch Bruno. He does have the Hollow Killer with a soul trait of strong attack recharge time minus 12%. He is a melee unit, so you will not get that extra range damage, but he's still a great unit because he does have the gauge effect where he gets Berserker 100% and takes decreased damage. He has Marauder, Long Strike, Sprinter plus 2. He does start off the mission with 70% of his gauge already filled. He also heals when his gauge activates by 30% and gets a status element spiritual pressure boost of 50% when the gauge is activated. He has the complete status immunity, so you don't have to worry about the status elements that are on the ground. Havoc 20%, Frenzy plus 2, and the Defibrillator plus 5 seconds. So this is just another unit you can use, though he is a melee unit. He won't get that extra range damage, but still pretty good overall. And as for the next few units, they are pretty much some premium mid-month unit characters, so you may or may not have these. Right here, as you can see, we do have this, cannot remember his name, Tesla. He does have the Hollow Killer. He is melee with Lacerate on his abilities. He has a damage to lacerated enemies 60%. Let's see, and he does have Frenzy plus 1. So yeah, I say this is just, you know, mid-month, and premium units aren't really the best units to really go for, but, you know, if you just don't have the first 3 units, you can use this unit. And also this Shinji that came out a couple years ago, he's a NAD unit with the Hollow Killer. He does have the boost on his SA2, Flurry +1. He has booster and enhancers, which is really great, and the poise, but he's mostly a Gale Quest unit, but still another unit you could use for the first slot. And so as for the first one, those are pretty much the characters you can use. Alright, and so for the next spot, we do have the 8th anniversary Ichigo, who is a power unit with the no affiliation killer. He does have the strong attack recharge time -14% as a soul trait. He is a ranged unit, so he is getting all of the bonus damage from the stage rules. He has weakening and drain on his abilities. He has poise, and he reads all affiliation dodges, Full stamina damage boost 20%, share complete status immunity 100%, Havoc 20%, frenzy +3, which is great, defibrillator +5 seconds, increased status element chance against technique attribute enemies, poise break, sharpshooter, and also hit hidden enemies. So this is probably the best in slot unit you can use. He is a ranged unit, he has drain, so he can heal and increase status element chance. And also frenzy +3 is just really great, and the share complete status immunity, you don't have to worry about the status element on the ground, which is great. And if you're like me and you don't have the 8th anniversary Ichigo after spending so many orbs on that banner, but anyways, you can use this Stark. He has the no affiliation killer. He has a soul trait of damage inflicted at full stam 30%. He is a ranged unit, so he will be getting all of the extra damage bonuses. He has weakening on his status elements, and he has damage to weakened enemies 40%. He has Havoc 20%, Frenzy +1, Defibrillator +5 seconds, Guard Break, and also hit hidden enemies. Though you do have to be mindful of these status elements on the ground because he is not immune to any status elements on the ground, so do keep that in mind. So overall, just another unit that you can use. Another option is the Swimsuit Momo. She is a power no affiliation killer unit, soul trait, normal attack damage +20%. She is a ranged unit with the boost on her SA2, so yeah, she is fulfilling all of the extra damage requirements. You will get the full bonuses from that. She has a guard break. She also has flurry +1, defibrillator +5 seconds, increased status element chance against technique attribute enemies. She has enhancer and poise. And so yeah, just another option that you can use if you don't have the first couple of ones that I mentioned earlier. Another character that you can also take a look at is the Naozumi. She also is a ranged unit, so she will fulfill all of the bonus damage requirements. She has stamina recovery 20%. She reads no affiliation dodges. She has flurry +1, sprinter +1, guard break, increased killer except in some quest types. And you know, just a pretty old unit, but still a decent option if you don't have any of the other previous units. Some other options are this Yami that was a premium unit. He has a soul trait of damage to weakened enemies +35%. He's a melee unit, so you won't get that extra range damage. He is immune to fire, and he has Innovator, which just basically inflicts weakening around every 5 seconds. He has a Berserker of 60% and a Bruiser of 50%. He has Long Reach 20%, Flurry +1, Defibrillator +5 seconds, increased melee damage, and some quest types damage to weaken enemies, poise, guard break, and yeah, he's just mainly a guild quest unit, but still, if you don't have any of the previous units mentioned, this is one you could want to try to use. Also, this Neliel is also a premium unit that you can use. She is a melee unit, so you won't get the bonus range damage. She does have the stamina recovery for 20%. She has the reduced strong attack cooldown 12%, complete status immunity 100%, so she is immune to the status elements on the ground. Havoc 20%, frenzy +2, defibrillator +5 seconds, increased status element chance against technique attribute enemies, damage to weaken enemies 40%, marauder, and also hit hidden enemies. So I'd say a little bit on the stronger side of a premium unit, and just another good option you can use. And here's another character you can use, the Safui Soifon. She has a normal Tag damage 20%, soul trait. Melee unit with paralysis and poison on all of her abilities except for her SA2. Guard break, fire resistance, 60% berserk, 60% bruiser. She has a normal attack power attribute capped at normal attack damage plus 20%, flurry plus 1, defibrillator plus 5 seconds, enhancer, poise, multi-barrier plus 2, which will really be helpful, you know, just to take a few hits from that enemies. And yeah, that's it for the second slot, and on to the last one. Just to go over the characters really quickly, we have the 2024 1000 Year Blood War version of Yuha. He has the no affiliation killer, soul trait, strong attack, recharge time minus 14%. Melee unit, it doesn't really matter as long as you just have a mind, no affiliation killer unit. Weakening, enemies defeated mechanic, as you can see here for the bonuses at 20, 40, 60, and 80 enemies defeated. You can see the bonuses that he will get. Long strike, marauder, sprinter plus 2, mind attribute, strong attack, recharge 20%, devastation 60%, complete status immunity, havoc 20%, frenzy plus 2, defibrillator plus 5 seconds, weaken defense, poison, any status element, spiritual pressure boost. So a great unit to use. The 1000 Year Blood War Asnot, you can use him as well. He is a ranged unit with slow and weakening on his abilities, all except for his SA2. He has a reduced strong attack cooldown of 6%, freeze resistance 100%, havoc 20%, reduced strong attack cooldown 14%, frenzy plus 2, defibrillator plus 5 seconds, damage to his status elements 40%, multi-barrier plus 2, sharpshooter, any status element, spiritual pressure boost. And you also have the 8th anniversary white, you know, just a melee unit with lacerate and drain of all of his abilities. I mean, I've done countless videos on this unit and you know how good he is. Yeah, he's just a really, still in my opinion, the best mind unit in the game, and definitely top 3 in the game. He has the increased mind attribute movement speed, havoc 20%, frenzy plus 2, bombardment, increased status element chance, increased special move damage, damage to a status element 60 for lacerated, 40% for drained, any status element spiritual pressure boost. Yeah, still a very, very great unit, even though he is a few months old. Alright, so I went on ahead and set up my team. These are the characters that I'm going to be using, and as for their builds, for the Rangeku, I'm going to be using the Chi-Set, Fortification Pill, the Lieutenant's Badge. As for the character links, a Psychomon Chad, Resurrected Toshiro, and a Resurrected Mugetsu Ichigo. And as for the Transcendence, I only have the one copy of her, so she is at SP is at level 10. And for the bonus abilities, I gave her full stamina damage boost, and I gave her that plus 200 SP. And move on to the next one. I'm gonna have the Teacup, Fortification Pill, Espada Chair. As for the links, Psychomon Chad, Resurrected Renji, and also a Resurrected Joshiro. The bonus abilities are going to be full stamina damage boost and the plus 200 SP. And also I only have one copy, so I did put that SP at level 10. And for the 8th anniversary white, who will carry this run in his stage, the Kamari, Fortification Pill, Katakuran. As for the links, Psychomon Chad, Resurrected Tensa Zangetsu, and a Resurrected Toshiro. Mine is 5 out of 5 max percentage with the plus 500 SP in the last slot. And as for the bonus abilities, full stamina damage boost. And you would want to put the plus 200 SP here instead of the weakened defense. You know, just the weakened defense probably really won't help you much unless you do soul bomb on those stages with the tankier enemies, but I'll probably say that for like the weaker units. So instead of weakened defense, just put the plus 200 SP. I'm not doing it because I'm lazy and I don't feel like doing it. Alright, so this is my character setup in the build. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. So the anniversary white will not have problems on his stages. I can just tell you that now. He's just too good of a unit. Do have to be careful with the status elements on the ground for the characters though. I maybe could have gone with some better links for the units, but I think the links will just do me okay. I do recover stamina in between stages, so if I get hit, I just have to try not to take too many hits, just so I can heal up back all that damage I took. I think now this Limit Breaker Crest really is just that if you're summoning on like the newest banners, then and you actually pull the newest characters, then you should be set. Really, that's what the guild quest is, or Limit Breaker quest. Excuse me, accidentally said guild quest. And guild quest is kind of like that too now. If you're not really summoning on like some of the newer banners to pull the newest units to, you know, like just get those units to help you clear it, then you're gonna have a hard time. I want to try and save my saw bomb to like last minute. I probably shouldn't do that, but it might help me out. And I noticed that if you do have like the best in slot characters, they will pretty much easily handle those tankier enemies. I finally figured out what that box does. It just gives you like some cooldowns on your strong attacks. Took me a while to figure it out, but I did it. Now we got the tankier enemies right there. Definitely got to be careful not to get hit. A lot of time is wasted here trying to kill these enemies, so I'll just probably cut to where I actually kill them so we can move on. Yeah, the real bad thing about not having the best in slot characters is just that if you get hit while fighting those enemies, it will take you forever just to kill them. I don't have to worry about taking hits with this unit just because he can get his full stem back with one strong attack. See, those tanky enemies just were not a problem at all. How the heck did I take burn damage? I just got into the stage. Don't tell me a transfer from the last time I was on this unit. If so, that's kind of so unfortunate. Definitely not one of my best runs, but you know, make do with what you got. I didn't have my SA3, that sucks. Alright, so and yeah, that is this month's Limit Breaker quest. As you can see, I really don't have the best in slot characters for the first and second slot. So if you have like the, you know, the better units to go there, then definitely put them there and you'll be able to clear it just fine. And as you can saw, the 8th anniversary white just easily cleared that Limit Breaker quest stages for him. And yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. And as usual, until next time.